Today is Tuesday, October 1st, and today's agricultural fact of the day piggybacks off of what we were talking about yesterday, which was how much the average American spends on grocery expenses per year. If you didn't watch that one, go back and watch that. And today I am examining other countries. As I told my students, I am thoroughly exhausting this topic until I can't come up with any more facts about it. So today's ag fact: when it comes to average grocery expenses per person, Canada had $2,351 in 2018, and increasing $430 to $2,781 in 2022. The United Kingdom in 2018 was $2,168, and increase $145 to $3,382 in 2022. The country of Georgia, so then I went and I examined, like, on a countrywide basis, comparing countries, which ones had the highest number of increase. So the country of Georgia had the highest dollar amount increase, which was $912 from their previous living expenses in 2018. And U.S. came in second at $756. Basically, over the course of those years, our grocery expenses have increased exponentially, which obviously everybody knows that. But when you're comparing it to other countries, it is very drastic, especially considering we're talking about the United States. Like, that's significant. There is one other activity that I would tend to do when we're talking about food and living expenses as compared to how much a citizen makes. And I pulled it out today and showed the kids and compared it, but we didn't do the activity that actually goes along with it because it's another ag fact of the day. I've explained this before, but basically I have little note cards and they are each labeled with a country name, and the amount of monetary value that is taped on the other side shows how much of each $1 they earn, or the equivalent in their currency, how much they spend on food on average. And the United States, I believe, was 8 cents. So 8 cents of every dollar back when this activity was created many, many years ago. Obviously, it's probably changed. Americans spent 8 cents on every dollar they earned on food. In India, it was 51. I'm sure if I recreated that activity now, I don't know where the data came from originally for that activity, because one of my old coworkers was the one that gifted it to me. But if I am able to ever find the data for that, I would think that it probably has drastically changed. And the whole point of this activity was, in the US, we spend the least amount of money on our food, but it doesn't take into account how much a family actually takes home in these other countries. So one full-time employee, how much do they make? It does not calculate that. So that is a little bit different when we're looking at these type of expenses, because it also doesn't tell you how much an average family of four is making. And obviously across the board, like my husband and I are teachers, I can tell you we're not at the top of that list. But anyway, if you are interested in looking up the data that I used for this fact, it came from a website called ourworldindata.org. And the data that website got it from was the Economic Research Service. So there are legitimate sources that are tied to this, but you can go through and organize them in different ways. Which ones had the most increase, the least increase, what percentage you're looking at increase from one year to the next. It's pretty cool, but unfortunately, it only goes to 2022. So as you're all aware, our economy has drastically changed between 2022 in 2024. Oh, and one other thing I forgot to include is that I currently have a cow at home that has a sore hoof. So we figured out how to redneck engineer it and lift her hoof up so I could look at it. Turns out she has hoof rot. And I was working on it yesterday because we don't own a handling system. We use my tractor because we don't have enough cows for a handling system to justify that cost. And I ended up hitting my head off of the quick attach attachment that's on the front of the tractor. Now, we didn't have the pallet forks or the spear or the bucket on. It was just a quick attach thing. So here, enjoy this video.